Well, these reviews have definitely surprised me. Hey, this is Hazard from Hazard Reviews here, and yeah, we're getting into it. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania has definitely caused a massive reaction, so to say, from critics, I should say, both online and you know in in print. They have really come down hard on this. Yeah, I've been quite surprised. The second rotten rating on Rotten Tomatoes for an MCU movie after the Eternals. Although it's so far, though I will say it definitely is better than Eternals. And so, and honestly, a lot better than certain other MCU movies. Like, honestly, I mean, it's probably better than Iron Man 2 and 3, For the Dark World, Captain Marvel, I guess you can say Love and Thunder, Black Widow, another one. But hey, let me just say this is way better than some of their shows like She-Hulk and Miss Marvel. Look, I'm sorry. Look, if you still like Miss Marvel, go ahead. I still can't say it's perfect because I still don't like the story of the first three episodes and the themes because I'm not a fan of that sort of story. But yeah, Quantumania. I actually don't think it's that bad. I'm being honest. I don't think it deserves the hate it's getting. It's not perfect, but I had a fun time watching this, to be honest. And I think a lot of my people in the cinema enjoyed it, so I will admit. I better get on to the pro. So Scott Lang. So we pick up with Scott Lang, starting to be a bit more well known in his home in San Francisco as a hero, which is pretty good considering the lack of people who knew him in the previous movies. Um, but he's struggling to connect with his daughter Cassie, who, as you know from the events of Avengers Endgame, Scott missed 5 years of her life from being stranded in the quantum realm, for everyone thinking he was dead as a victim of the snap. And, so he's trying his best, trying to have a bit of a normal life with her, even though she's sort of moved on. So, yeah, trying to bridge the gap. And she's, developing a close friendship with the Pym family. However, one of her devices that Cassie creates, transmitted to the quantum realm, has Janet Van Dyne very nervous and demands she turn it off, only for it to explode and suck herself, the two of them, Scott, Hank, and Hope, into the quantum realm. Hank, Hope, and Janet end up in one area. Scott and Cassie end up in the other, and both of them, and all of them are trying to work their way back together, all while being pursued by a massive army led by Kang the Conqueror. Okay, now let's get on to the big thing, the best thing in this, which is no doubt Kang. Jonathan Majors does a great job introducing Kang for the first time. I mean, we got a taste with He Who Remains in Loki, but this is where we first get to see the full-on Kang the Conqueror. And I was impressed with what I got. I mean, I enjoyed Kang. I thought Majors had a good, did a good performance. I thought he was threatening enough. He had this aura of mystery around him, and his motives, line up with the future, line up with everything that we know from the comics. With that said, it's obviously I was a little bit surprised with what they did with him at the end. I thought they were going to go in a different direction. But yet again, as we all know, there are multiple variants in the multiverse, so it does make sense why they do what they do. And the two post-credit scenes definitely, you know, helped in that regard. So that wasn't let down by anything. So I'm okay with that. The acting all around is all good. Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, Michael Douglas, Michelle Pfeiffer all do a good job returning in their roles. And Catherine Newton is pretty good as Cassie. To be honest, Furman, I was a little bit surprised they ditched her after Endgame, but Newton does a good job. She's all right. The action scenes are all good. I like it for what they are, the action scenes. And one of the things I like about this is the theme of reconnecting with your loved ones after so much time. For we have Scott and Cassie on one hand, and then it's Hank and Hope reconnecting with Janet and learning what her life was like in the quantum realm. which is another thing I like. I like Janet's history of the quantum realm and how she feels going back into it and reconnecting with people who don't want to even see her again, and even her connection with Kang, which is pretty good, honestly. But honestly, though, I will admit it does go seem awfully similar to how Wanda learned the motives of Ultron in Age of Ultron. I'm just being honest. Um, with that said, I will go over some of the issues this film has been criticized with. First off, I will admit one of the main things is that of how it go compared to the other two Ant-Man movies, this film goes much bigger and grander than the smaller scale of the previous films. And look, yeah, those films are make more sense for being very grounded they were. But I think for this sort of circumstance, considering Ant-Man and the Wasp is the first product of Phase 5, it makes sense to go grounded. Honestly, I thought they handled it well enough. But that isn't, and the humor, it's not really bad. I mean, like Full Love and Thunder, there are some humor I liked, but not enough. Especially with certain characters. We'll get to that soon. Um, but speaking of characters, there are a lot of them kind of missing or barely used. Like Randall Park's only in this film for about uh one scene, and that's it. Why was it even worth bringing him in? He could have at least done something else with a fan or something. Not really that. He doesn't even get a lot. And Cassie's mom, Scott's ex-wife, gets brought up a few times, and she isn't in conversation, but she isn't seen at all in this. And I'm like, what's going on? Did she die off screen? I'm like, they never say. I mean, it seems like she did. I mean, with how Scott Lang addresses it, but I don't know. Just something doesn't feel right. I don't know. Hmm. Yeah, there's that. There and new characters. Well, as I said, I like Kang. Some of the other ones. I mean, when it comes to some of the people, yeah, the civilization inside the quantum realm, that most of them I like. Some a bit questionable, like Bill Murray. I was sort of expecting a little bit more from him. He's a lot mysterious, especially with his connection with Janet. But I think he needed another moment with him. Like I don't know, it's just something doesn't feel right. That you needed more from him. Uh, there's a couple of sacrifices in the climax. Again, the main one in the I'm not going to go over it, but it just feels like they were kind of about to tread the same scale as say something like the previous Ant-Man movies where Ant-Man does get trapped in the quantum realm. It looked like they were going to do it again, but they didn't. Which honestly, I think they should have, especially with the Wasp as well. Like I don't know, there's that. Um, the CGI gets a bit of uh, criticism, but I didn't think that was too bad. I thought the CG was fine. Yeah, so there's that. And then wait, was there anything else actually? Trying to think. I thought there was something else I was going to say. I might as well get to it. Let's talk about MODOK. Now, just before you go on, MODOK is one of my favorite characters in Marvel Comics. I love this guy. Yes, he's so weird compared to all the other Marvel villains, but he is just so fascinating. And the voice, oh my gosh, it's just so iconic and that. So when I heard MODOK was going to be coming in, I was excited. But let's get on to it. Now, the criticisms I'm hearing a lot about him, I can understand, but they're not my issues. Okay, the changes to his origin, because this is a different character and a different identity. I can understand. totally buy how this guy from a previous MCU film, previous um, MCU film. I'm not going to say who is actually MODOK. I can agree with that, especially with how you watch how this this guy got um, taken out. You can understand how he would transform into MODOK. That's one thing. I like. I don't mind a bit of the voice. I mean, let's be fair. The voice can be give or take, because I know a lot of people who don't like the voice of MODOK that we usually hear, so there's that. I don't, and even the CG, yes, it's on par with, say, Mr. Electric from Shark Boy and Lava Girl. That's not my problem. My problem is the climax and what they do with him. I That's where I draw the line. Not, it's just how they use him. Okay, as a threat, it's good, but they get rid of him pretty quickly. And honestly, they should have kept him alive. I'm going into spoilers, but yes, he does bite the bullet. But I'm not impressed with how they did it. And in many ways, they should have kept him alive for a future product, for a future film or series. You have to. I mean, he's one of the big name Avengers level threats. You would think he would keep him around, even for something like a TV series or something like that. I mean, okay, there's still room for him to appear in What If, but I don't know. And even how he dies, I just don't like it either, considering what he's doing and his resolution when he's fighting Cassie. That's where things where I get into problems. I mean, yes, you can say the face is uncanny, stretched out with the CG, but it's not my big issue. It's what they do with him at the climax. That's where I draw the line with MODOK. But maybe they'll might do a quick fix in the years to come and reveal a true MODOK or something like that. Similar to how they handled the Mandarin with Shang from Iron Man 3 by correcting it with Shang-Chi, but you never know. But yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. I don't think it's as bad as everyone says it is. In fact, it's fine, and I'm not gonna I'm not gonna go overboard and say, oh, the critics are wrong. You're valid to have your opinion. But I didn't think it was as bad as what people may think. With that said, it's not the best way for Phase 5 to start off with, but it does at the very least give me hope for understanding of what's to come in the future. Even then, it has also changed the way Marvel Studios is thinking about how they handle the quantity over quality with the MCU, which is for the best. I mean, granted, at the time of this, the only thing that's been set in stone is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And as I'm recording this, I hear they have or they've pretty much confirmed that the Marvels will be delayed till November this year. And at this stage, only two shows um, are set to be released this year, which are Secret Invasion and Loki season two. Though we'll give a third option, say what if season two is also going to come out. So yeah, I'm going to say that. As as for the other shows, it's hard to say when they'll come, which is for the best. They need to improve how they handle things. I can kind of at least give credit with where credit is due that with how these shows are run. When it comes to Daredevil, that because that's going to be a little bit more of a different sort of. Yep, the Daredevil reboot's going to be a bit handled a bit differently. Being able to be actually more of a full-on series with 18 episodes on that. But for the others, you need to work on it, and yeah, there's a lot of improvement to get back to, well, shall I say, phase three, which was peer pretty much perfection with how they handled it. Yeah, but with that said, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, it's a 6.4 out of 10 half stars. Yeah, I'm doing that again, huh? So that's what I do with the Eternals. I'm not, I don't hate it. It's, and it's not perfect, but I think it's okay. It's fine. So yeah, there you go. That's my review of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So I guess I should go over a couple of things coming up. In terms of films coming out in theaters, well, for my film next month, it's actually going to be a little bit surprising. It's actually going to be good. I mean, you would think I'm probably going to review likes of, Creed 2 or John Wick Part 4 or Shazam 2 or something like that. I'm not going to watch them. Yeah, I made up my mind. I'm not going to watch them. Because I'm not really too keen. I mean, I've seen the films, but I'm much rather wait till they're out on streaming services to watch them. They're not even just. Yeah, I mean, I'm just not in the mood to see them. So I'm probably going to see something else, and it's more of a film that actually did come out last year, but I'm actually intrigued to take a look into it in theaters. So yeah. Besides, my main blockbuster coming up will be the Super Mario Brothers movie, and yeah, I'm not going to miss that. But yeah, with that said, and there's going to be a few, but there is going to be a couple of other things coming out, some special reviews because heads up for people who watch before the flick, I have changed my recording software a bit. It's going to be a little bit more professional, I should say. My next couple, my before the flicks from here on in. So I'm going to start using that technology, what I've got now, my capturing cards, a bit more for my reviews. So yeah, my reviews may take a little bit longer when they're not on this sort of down to earth stuff. But in the meantime, this is Hazza from Hazza Reviews out, and I shall see you for my next video. Ciao.